wishing us the best. Our podcast is better than the rest. You got an issue, better say it with your chest. Until then, keep wishing us the best. Keep wishing us the best. Our podcast is better than the rest. You got a
You don't be slowing down.
We'll see. The internet gods are on my side.
So what was I say? Okay, what I told you I was gonna wait to start was the before we even actually get into the actual ghosting. The girl she clearly lied about her age. Like, went to her crib. It started because you know how Facebook you used to have a college email address.
Yeah, .edu.
Yeah, it was when that shit first lifted, and everybody named Mama, could get in that bitch. That bitch went from fucking Sam's Club to Walmart. And I was talking. She's bad. I'm talking about okay. She stayed in Detroit East Side, and I was like, well, shit. I'll go home on the weekend, so I'm like, okay, I might slide through. Hit her up one Friday. I was already at the crib, and it was late. It was like maybe like 12:30ish. She was like, "Oh yeah, come through. Nobody's here. Come through." I'm like, "All right." So fell through. Answer door and robe, all that stuff. Like I'm thinking like this shit. It seems like the shit is about to be popping. And then we downstairs talking. And, I talk. I'm holding a little bit of a conversation. I don't just try to jump into things. And we start talking about school. And I tell her, I'm at Eastern. She said she goes to Wayne State. I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, so how many credits you taking this semester? And
which is just a normal question to ask, like, what you got going on?
Yeah. And she was like, oh, like 100, 150? And I'm like, what? I'm like, you said...
how this works, little girl.
I'm like, you said you taking how many? She was like 100. I'm like, how many classes? She's like, oh, I got a math class, a science class, and like a health class. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you say you taking...
What the fuck she was talking about?
Yeah, I don't like, so you say you taking 150 credits. And I'm like, all right, what building is it in? And she was like, oh, I don't never remember that building name. Because I know some of the building names so I'm rattling off names, and she was like, and then I started saying names that I know are just for teaching, because my mom used to be a professor at Wayne State. And she did, I knew the teaching and then the social work, because she's a social worker, and she taught like social work and everything like that. And she was like, oh yeah, that building, but she's not going for anything teacher related. Nothing. So I'm like, oh shit. And then I hear the door open and some male voice call her name, like, where are you at? I'm like, oh god damn. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought she was here by herself. Oh, that's just my uncle. So then I'm down here and she goes upstairs. She's like, yeah, just try to stay quiet. He's not supposed to know I'm down here.
She like sneaking you into the house?
Yeah, yes, we're in the basement.
Oh my god.
And
you sound dangerous.
I'm just like, dog. I'm nervous. I'm like, it's a part where it's like under the stairs, kind of shadowy. So she get up, I just ease over there, and then I hear like vomiting upstairs, and then she comes down. Yes, I hear vomiting upstairs, like somebody is just hurling, and I'm like, the fuck is going on? And she comes downstairs. She look at me like I'm crazy. Like, why are you over here? Why are you over there in the shadows? I was like, who was that upstairs? Why is somebody upstairs? Mom, oh, my sister, she just came in fucked up. So she's throwing upstairs. I'm like, okay, who was the male voice? I thought you were here by yourself. Oh, yeah, my uncle had to go get her. Blah, blah, blah. She's coming up with excuses. And then she keeps getting called upstairs. So one time, she was like, if just go in the bathroom. It's a bathroom down there. She's like, just go in the bathroom if you hear some footsteps and you don't think it's me. So when she went upstairs, I'm just like, I got to get out of here.
What?
So I seen the back door that was like right up the stairs from the basement. And I was like, I'm hoping that I can unlock this back door. So next time she went upstairs, I bust out that back door. Luckily, it was just one of the door locks. Like, it was a deadbolt, but it was just the lock and everything like that. I busted that back door, ran in my car. I called one of my niggas like, dog.
But where was your car parked at? Like,
I had
your
parked
car was
like
just parked.
I had parked like 2 houses down.
Oh, okay. So you wasn't like near, because I'm like, don't they see this car outside their house? Like, what?
And yeah, I remember I broke my charger because I got in the car and sped off, and I guess my charger was hanging out my car door. I called my niggas like, dog, I have no idea how. And I'm like, I was blinded by how attractive she was, but I'm like, I have no idea how old she was, because they're like, this still, none of her story is adding up. This was probably what, 3rd year at Eastern. Like,
So you was like 21.
Yeah.
And she was like 16. So you was about to be on some R. Kelly shit.
Nah,
unknowingly.
I was not. See, and that is why I had the conversation. I talked to her, but yeah, that shit was all bad. Definitely goes to her. She was blowing my phone up. Definitely never responded to her. Unfriended her. Everything. I was like,
Because that shit could have really went left. That's why I was like, that's actually kind of dangerous, because what if, like,
it could
somebody, daddy or uncle, would have came down there and seen this grown-ass nigga.
Whole ass could have. Like, I remember she told me she was 19. Couldn't have been. Like, even, in my mind, as a senior in high school, I knew how college credits worked. So it's like, It makes me think that you weren't even a senior. If you over here telling me you taking 100 and some credits, it's only like 130 to graduate. You about to graduate in a semester.
So you taking them all. You taking them all at the same time. Yeah, she didn't know shit. Which her answer reflected that. That's wild. That's wild.
Wild as fuck.
That's crazy. Live the
Here
wild
to
life,
tell.
sir.
No, this is going on dummy missions. You know, when you were young, or at least when us as men we were young, dummy missions. That was pretty much every weekend. You trying to go on a mission to find something.
Man.
I'm sure it was easier for y'all. So y'all were the mission, so I'm sure it was easier for y'all.
Yeah, that was never my goal, was to go on the hunt every weekend. But
I mean, you were probably being hunted every weekend. So
I actually had a guy that used to sneak me into his house, but that shit was so crazy too, because I mean, we did this for years, and his parents were like older though, so they just kind of like moved. Huh?
What is he sneaking you in the house? How old was he?
He was in his 20s. He was in his early 20s, and I was probably like 16, 17.
Oh, so he was a smart Kelly shit. See, notice how when he said I was doing it, I was gonna be on smart Kelly shit.
Yeah,
but
yeah, he was definitely one of those guys that like definitely like looked for like the younger girls. Like
yeah. See, and I was trying to get away from that, and he was welcoming that inside.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But on another note, today's topic. Moving right along from this shit.
Welcome, guys. We're here. We're back. Wish us the best.
What is this
Hello.
episode 9?
Yes.
Tell them what we're talking about today.
So
this is
we
actually
are talking about relationship ratios. And what I mean by relationship ratios are if you, I don't know, I guess if you just try to focus in on the dynamics of certain relationships, that usually it's a person who may care more in the relationship, maybe put forth more effort in the relationship. It's not always 50-50. I do think as you grow and stuff, eventually you hopefully get to somewhere where you get with somebody where it is closer to 50-50, but a lot of times it's usually 70-30, 60-40. Somebody's usually caring, putting in more effort, willing to put up with more shit than the other person. And we're just going to discuss how healthy that is, if it can work. Because, I mean, in certain situations, that might be your dynamics. That might work for y'all.
I guess it's also kind of like, who's doing more? Like, is it more to that person, or is it more to like an outsider looking in? Because that's true. I used to look at like my parents as like in the beginning, I feel like my dad did more, but I felt like my dad did more because my mom was just a housewife. And so once I got older and I started, I like going from a girl to a woman and doing house things and, being more domestic, I'm like, even if she wasn't like making money, like she definitely carried her weight, like raising children, making sure we ate. She used to do school stuff. Like my mom didn't start working until I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. So my mom was very active, like in our young lives for, from 0 to 14, 15 for me. For my brother, a little bit older, for my sister, or for my brother for a little bit longer, for my sister, a little bit less longer. But yeah, so I used to think about that, like, my dad is carrying a household, like he does it all. And that was just from like my young eyes. I'm like, oh, she's just at home with us. But then, like, even just in the last month, like having multiple like kids and stuff around and like cooking for everybody and like, just cleaning up after people, I'm like, this shit kind of a lot of work, dealing with kids and like just multiple people. So I guess it's kind of like easy. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like, is the ratio even or uneven to who? Because, obviously that was probably a even thing, to my parents maybe, but I don't know. But how I look at it now versus how I looked at it then, I look at it like, oh, this was even. Like each person was like equally putting in their work, their share of work. Like she was dealing with us and the household shit, and my dad was making sure everything happened. So
yeah, see, I feel like I don't know. I feel like with my parents it was mostly it seemed like everything was mostly 50-50. I'm sure in different aspects it probably wasn't. But I don't know, it seemed like they had shit planned out. I don't know if they did, or maybe they just made it come off that way. I don't know. But it was, I don't know, I guess my mom dealt with me probably the most. Maybe when I got older. I don't know. My mom definitely dealt with me the most, but I still had, times with my dad. I used to go on more trips with him because he used to play softball. So he would go to like softball tournaments, or I know he played basketball. He went to like the little Magic Johnson. He has some type of basketball and baseball tournaments because I have a picture of him like with Magic and everything like that. And then my mom pretty much, they both worked, so nobody was stay at home, but my mom pretty much handled the household shit. And then just how they function, it just seemed like it worked well.
Did it seem even to you?
Yeah,
Like
it
50-50?
did. Yeah, I mean, I guess for what I would see 50-50. I don't know how the finances shook out, but I mean, I know they had a joint bank account, but I also know they would borrow money from each other. So I was like, okay. So I don't know. I don't know who paid for what, but apparently everything got paid for. So I never felt it was never a time where it was like, oh, I don't know what we about to do this week. Like I've never experienced that, like, you know, growing up as a child. Maybe experienced that in college, but not from them.
We all did.
But looking into my relationships, I know I've had plenty where I've put in more effort in some, and the other ones I didn't. I'm sure the more effort was put in by the other person. And I do think it was probably more relationships where it was more me, but I'm not going to say it wasn't anywhere. I could have tried harder or attempted to do certain things that I know she liked, and I didn't, because I don't know, maybe it was because I knew that she cared more about it than I did. But I feel like a lot of those was relationships where it kind of just happened. Like I guess it was relationships where I never was pursuing. So I guess me not pursuing made it so I really didn't put in as much effort as I would have if I pursued her. Maybe I just had a breakthrough.
I was about to say, it sounds like you aren't the type of man that should be pursued. You should do the pursuing.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess.
It's like, ugh, don't be masculine, bitch. No, I'm just joking.
I remember I
That's
had
for me to do.
I had this one girl in college. She walked up to me, looked me up and down, and was like, "You got a bitch." And I didn't know what to say to that shit.
That's even a bad approach for a man. Like, you got a nigga what?
She had too much masculine energy. She was already like big and burly. Like I don't, as a
I
bigger
just feel like
dude.
that's savage energy. Like that's wild.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. But just in general, as a bigger dude, it's weird when bigger women come at me. Well, at least it used to come at me, because I was like, what you think we about to be doing? Like, what? We gonna be trying to figure shit out?
Love for the wait.
Like, we gonna be trying to be let's be real. We both over here just trying to figure shit out.
Are you saying like physically because of like y'all sizes?
Yes, physically.
So you feel like two of you would not, or somebody that was bigger would not work out.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Just being honest. It's just
I
not.
was trying to figure out where you was going with that. I'm like, dang, why you dogging big girls?
Oh no, I'm not gonna definitely knock her for her side, but I mean physically. Like,
okay, I got you. That's where I didn't know that's where we was going.
We gonna have over here doing math, trying to figure out angles. I'm good. Nah.
Yeah. Okay. So you said that would just be a bit of a lot. Yeah.
But yeah. So I've been in a lot of situations too where it's like, you know, we putting in maximum effort to maintain something, and I don't know if you really. I don't know if you really should be. Like, I feel like it's a double-edged sword, because sometimes you do have to work for it. Like, you do have to work for things to work, not just give up. Mm-hmm. But then on the other hand, you also got to know.
You hear her? Girl,
she tired of you.
I know. She just sitting here looking at me like, I'm like, what do you want me to do? I'm busy. Shit. We gonna just tune her out. There's nowhere I can put her. We don't even crate her. So you just gotta shut the fuck up eventually. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Carry on.
Sometimes I feel like you have to know when to call it quits, know when to throw in the towel, know when to know you're not being appreciated the way you should be.
Absolutely. I feel like me personally, like in my relationship now, I feel like one person had more feelings than the other. Like, it wasn't necessarily like what we were doing, but it was just like, I feel like one of us was like more like, I don't want to say in love, because in the beginning I don't feel like we were necessarily like in love. Like, we definitely fucked with each other, definitely had a lot of love for each other, but I personally feel like I loved him a little bit harder. I do. I feel like that's where our ratio was kind of like uneven, and that ratio, that doesn't work for me. Like, that doesn't work for me in a relationship, because I don't know, like, I just feel like he just has to like me more or have more feelings. This sounds so stupid saying this out loud, but no, I really feel this way.
No, I can understand.
But yeah, so that didn't work for me, and so that's where like our disconnect was in the beginning, because I'm just like, I feel like my feelings go a little bit deeper, and it's generally not like that with me, not like in a bragging way. It was just a different dynamic for me, because it was always like the guy was doing more, and and then this time around I felt like I was kind of like doing more and not receiving, like my cup wasn't being filled the way I was filling his. So that led me to like, kind of pull back, and then I eventually just like totally broke it off, and I was like, I'm never gonna deal with him again. Like, I was very sure. And then he just came back and was like, oh no, I like you more now. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, let's see. And then he like started showing me. So I was like, oh, he was for real. So now I feel like he probably cares, like, as far as feelings and love. Like, I think he loves me more, or I don't want to say more, because it kind of feels wrong to say more, but it just feels different. Like, it's a different type of love. Like, it's a deeper, more like affectionate, more passionate, more just, it's not like a surface level type of love. It's like it goes very deeper, and it's like, I don't know, like, he's just more like affectionate. Like, he just randomly texts me like, I love you. And generally, like, we weren't like that, even like a year into how we were. And I'm like I'm so over her. Like, she's just looking outside and seeing birds, and she like, I want to go play with them, but she don't think nobody else can live here, around here or something. Like, she gotta be the only being. But anyway, so yeah, I feel like, as far as like our effort though, like, I feel like we both put in like a equal amount of effort, I think. Living with him has made me realize I have like some real trifling habits. Like, I be leaving, like, I'll like peel an orange and just leave the peel on the table, and that type of shit like bothers the fuck out of him. But it's like whereas to like before, he would react and just get like super pissed off. Like, now he's like much more calm about it. Like, I don't know, like, he doesn't get as angry. Like, he's a lot he's chill. Like, even his kids have been like, yeah, Dad's like more like, he's like real chill. And I'm like, he really, I'm about to like lock her in a room somewhere. I'm sorry, y'all. She is like just being real fucking retarded right now.
Oddly, I feel that the relationships I had where I feel like they were into me more were better relationships. I don't know if that's, you like,
said we're better.
Yeah. we're better relationships. I feel like we ended on better terms. I feel like.
I think I'm gonna take her outside real quick, just because.
Yeah,
Let me just
stop.
see. I think I was like wrapping up what I was saying about how I feel like we're pretty much, as far as effort. You say what?
I forgot I was putting this up.
Oh, yeah, you look like you're feeling pretty good. Just as far as like the effort is different, but I can't say one is like more than the other. Like, I don't know, everything just like how you said, how your parents just kind of flow, like how it is now, it kind of flows. But I think it can like vary with couples, and I mean it just depends on where you're at in life, what you got going on in life. You know, things change.
Yeah, I do think at different times of your relationship, probably things are going to shift.
Exactly.
Maybe lean one way or lean the other.
100%.
Or just one person's just going to have to step a little bit more or something. But I do think in certain situations too, where if it's all like people need to take turns stepping up. If it's always one person stepping up, I don't think.
Yeah, that gets draining.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. People get resentful. And yeah, I just don't see it working. But thinking of I guess past relationships, when I was saying that it was better when I was in a relationship where the person cared more than I want to say cared more than me, but I mean I just kind of put in a little bit more effort just than I normally did. Maybe I had level 7 effort and she might have had level 10 effort all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know. Would that be sustainable for you?
A level 7? No. Easy answer. No. I mean, I don't know. Like, at this point, like, we've had a lot of conversations. I'm like, I kind of know exactly what it is that I want and, you know, how I want to feel with my partner and all that type of shit. So if I feel like somebody is putting in a significant amount less effort, that wouldn't work for me. Not for a long period of time. Like, not for, like...
So what if it was just in certain areas?
It depends what the area is. Like, if it's like sex and you're not putting in effort there, that's going to be an issue. Because sex is a big part of a relationship. It's literally... Huh?
Sexual effort. I said, but what male would want to put in sexual effort?
You said what male wouldn't want to put in sexual effort?
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are a lot of men who don't want to, you know, do certain things or, you know, I don't know. But
what is sexual
I think,
effort? Sexual effort is making sure she get hers.
Yeah, I think it's like pleasuring your partner, like making sure that your partner is satisfied. Because I've had conversations with grown ass women who are like, you know, they feel like they're just getting like fucked on, like their partner isn't putting in like effort to make them, you know, feel good. It's like, oh, this is the position for me, like this is it, boom, like this is for me, this is not for you at all. So yeah, like that's not putting in effort, that's just you getting yours. So yeah, I think I know there's a lot of men like that. I mean, I don't play them games, but yeah, I know that those men are out there, just like those type of women are out there who just, you know, lay there,
just
and
lay
just
there.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
I used to have an argument that I thought the prettier the girl was, the worse she would be in bed. But
that's like a common thing that I've heard. Like, pretty. I mean, because they don't have to do anything.
Yeah, because most dudes are just happy to get her. They don't care if it was good or not. They've gone up regardless. We'll just say that. They're going to never grow. It's not hard to get a nut off. Like,
Right.
especially for us. Like, you know, I know it's a whole bunch, it's a whole lot for women. It has to be mental and physical. For us,
Yeah.
if it's not physical enough, our minds can make up the disparity.
The rest.
Yeah, we can get there. So,
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, so that would definitely be like lack of, you know, like that I would never deal with. Like I would never stay in a situation where I feel like he didn't put in effort, because I'm gonna go the extra mile to please my partner. So I'm not with the, you know, whatever. But yeah. So yeah,
I feel like
I don't think it could be lopsided in that particular area, but I guess it really depends on the area. Like, are you lacking in like the like my love language is acts of service, and
yeah, we talked about that.
I
Is
don't,
that your love language that you like done to you, or is that your love language of how you show love?
it's both. It's really both, because I would love to have more acts of service for me, but I definitely do that a lot. Wait, why are you laughing?
I would love to have more acts of service for me.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
But that is how I like show love, which I like. That's not his thing. So, yeah, like that doesn't get met as much as I would like for it to. But I mean, it's in one of those categories that I can deal with, because there are a lot of other things that are met. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, 80-20. Like, it's not going to be 100% perfect in every arena, but if it's a 7 out of 10 in that particular category, then I can deal with that. So,
Yeah. I feel like it's like certain situations, at least, well, certain ratios doesn't matter to me. Like, if Monique, if she slacked in the cooking area, like, oh well, like it's,
yeah, it wouldn't be a big deal.
it's not, yeah, it's not gonna matter to me. I have core areas that I really care about. Other than that, pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with. I know others who've had where you could kind of see that one person was the other person's like cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
The dynamics worked, but that's how their dynamics were. Was that one person would do something, the other one would just cheer them on. But in lieu of that person being able to do what they do, they need the cheerleader. They wouldn't be where they were without said cheerleader.
Right.
And that's kind of, I understand the dynamics, but I also think
So, in what category could you not deal with them not bringing maximum effort or
maximum effort.
Yeah.
I get that from Deadpool, but obviously the sex, yeah, obviously. I mean,
Yeah, that's a big thing.
who would want half-ass sex? I couldn't get into it. Like, if it was not like you wanted it, I can't. Like, if she just like just turn over and just go to work, finish, do whatever you gotta do. Like, I'm not gonna want it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna want
like,
it. I don't want it. Don't want no parts.
Like, I want you to be enjoying this like as much as I'm enjoying it. Like, I don't want it to just be like one person enjoying it more.
Yes, I want you to enjoy it. I don't want it to be a chore. Like that. If I feel that it to you it feels like a chore, then it's a complete turn off. I don't want even. I'm not even going. I wouldn't enjoy it at all. But let's see.
Yeah.
I guess actually would probably be being actually interested in just in my life, like maybe like even like what happened today, or where my state of mind is. Just being interested in my life. That couldn't be. That couldn't be an area that didn't have effort.
Yeah.
Because I try to care and notice if, things aren't good or things are okay or what, and try to remedy the situation. So for you to not even try or not care or not see signs, because maybe you could see some, if you know me, maybe you can see some signs before I even realize it. It's not normal that I would feel a way and not really realize it. But I'm sure there are times for everybody where they cannot even realize they're going through it, but other people can tell them like, "Hey, you're going through something." Right. So I would definitely want maximum effort into a situation like that.
Like the area of like support, like, having your partner support you on just whatever it is you want to do, the different things that you want to try, or, if you want to start, like a new career field or go back to school, or just anything that you're trying to do to like better yourself, and your partner is just like, nah, you can't do that, or this is nothing that I've ever experienced, but I've just watched other people not be supportive of their partner, and I'm like, that shit would not work for me. Like, my friend used to talk about, I can't remember how this girl was like, I think it may have been like one of her coworkers or something, but like, she was like pretty much a stay-at-home mom, and she was like, I want to go back to work, I want to do this, and she was just tired of being at home. Like, she'd been at home with kids for like 15 years. And so she's like, I want to go back to school. And like, her husband was like sabotaging it, like making it to where it was like difficult for her to be able to like, and I think for him, it was like him needing that control, like, cause he used to do things to her, like, like kind of like punish her, like as far as like money, because she wasn't making any money, so he would just do things like,
you punish your wife.
That's like weird. Because he had the control, weird. So he would like not give her an allowance, or or like have her money, whatever money she had, he would like, kind of take from her, just like a bunch of like weird stuff, but like.
I can't agree with any type of punishment as an adult. You just discussed. You're like, yeah, that's just wild.
Yeah, but he used to like be on some abusive, like psychological, weird, like abusive shit, like manipulation with like money and stuff like that. Like, because he didn't want her to be able to have her own, because he wanted to be able to, keep her in this box. Like, nope, you're a stay-at-home wife, take care of the kids. You don't need to work. Like,
how do you feel about punishment? Because it goes for the same way when, like, how, I don't know, if a wife was to take away sex or something, or
that shit is whack to me. That shit is whack. Like you said, we're not kids. Like, we're not our partner's parent. So why are we punishing them? Like, no TV tonight. Like, what the fuck do I look like? No. Short answer, no. I think that shit is weird. I think it's very manipulative, and I really just think it's weird more than anything, because it's like, like if we're on bad terms or we got into an argument or something like that, I'm not saying I'm like gonna like purposely withhold sex, but I might be upset and I'm like not in the mood, like whatever you did, you pissed me off, so I'm like, I'm not even in the mood to like have sex. But it's like, oh, you didn't do this for me, so now I'm about to like not have sex with you. Like, no, that's weird. That's very weird.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's why I can never understand the whole the whole breakups to makeup shit. Because like I'm not
In
we
the
get in
mood
an
for
argument.
that.
I'm not in the mood to fuck like this.
At
Like
all.
this. I'm like, why do you think
Same.
that's gonna work? It was
Same. No, like seriously. Like I have no desire to like, yeah, not at all. Like I want to be by myself, really. Like I don't want to see you. I don't want to even deal with you. Like I damn sure don't want to fuck after we just, yeah, no, all that rage, mad sex. That's never been a thing that made sense to me. I'm straight, but a lot of people be into it, so.
I mean, I'm
To
sure
each their
everybody,
own, but
everybody got their little kink.
yeah,
That's
that's not the one for me. But yeah,
Oh.
I think it's.
No, what were you about to say?
I just think like as far as like the effort and like the ratio and stuff being even, I think it's just really in however the person views it. And I say that because, and I don't know, maybe she feels like she does more. I don't know, but I used to train this this woman who is married, and I just felt like she did all of the like stuff pertaining to the kid, like as far as like just like the day-to-day activities with him, just, and he was like little, like he's probably like 7 now, but when he was little, like she definitely, the way she would describe it is she would just like make it seem like she does everything that pertains to the kid. Like he's like never with his dad like for too long by himself. Like the dad is just, you know, like makes the money, pays the bills. She worked too. Like she actually got a really good job too, but you know, he doesn't do anything pertaining to the kids. And I'm just like, my perception of that is like, fuck no. Like, you're going to be changing diapers, you're going to be feeding these kids, you're going to be taking these kids to do, you know, like, you're going to be just as like an active parent as I am from 0 on up. Like, it's not like, oh, you're the only one who gets up with them in the middle of the night, or you the only one who feed them, or you the only one who change diapers and stuff like that.
That change of
Absolutely
diaper
not.
thing is not gonna be fun though.
Yeah.
That is the one
was-
thing I dread. I do not.
When I was
I'm
at
not
home-
gonna want to change no diapers. though.
When I was at home, and you know, my niece and nephew are babies, like they're like under 2. Boy, them diapers, I was just like, this is the part I'm not looking forward to, because man, they was having these little mini blowouts, and I'm like, I'm like, let me take you back to your mama, because this is the part I don't do. This ain't my thing. But yeah. But as far as like effort, you know, I think she would definitely say it was like even. Like, I think she would be like, you know, he does what he's supposed to do and I do what I'm supposed to do. And I look at it like, yeah, no. But that's her perception, which is my assumption, but based on like conversations we've had. But that's definitely my perception of it. Like, man, it's like very unequal, because she's like doing the bulk of the work and she works, you know. So
What's all that?
I don't know. I heard that noise. What is that?
I have no idea. Probably maybe it's an email or some shit. Let me close things. I told you I got too many tabs open.
I'm like, was
Anyway.
that on my end or yours?
It's
Yeah,
probably
sure.
mine. It's always on mine.
Yeah, you be
At
doing
least
a
we
lot.
don't have Alexa telling everybody where my dog is.
Wait, what?
Because Alexa would tell you motion. So I have it set up so Alexa tells me exactly where in the backyard my dog is at. Because I don't know. In the beginning, he used to get out so much. Granted,
Like out
that's
the
how
yard?
we got him, was because he was a stray.
For real?
Yeah. Yes, he made me. I found all the vulnerabilities of my yard because of him.
I didn't know he
And-
was a stray.
Yeah, he was a stray. My friend
That's
friend
crazy.
found him, and was trying to find his owners. I think he was he was like 2 or 3 months.
Oh, he was a little baby.
Yeah, that's when we got him when he was like 3 months. So
little baby.
And we took him to we took him to see if she took him to see if they had a chip. She didn't. She put up like flyers and told the police, and nobody
that might
claimed
have
him.
just been like, dog just had puppies, and maybe they was just outside chilling.
I believe it because he was just getting out in the beginning. He was getting out, and granted, that was the reason I put up the fence, because I want to just be able to send like I do now, just send him outside. Hey, do whatever you gotta do. Come back in.
Right.
But yeah, he was finding all the vulnerabilities, and that was why I set it up so I would know where he's at. He still has I have like a tracker on his collar though that actually has live GPS of where exactly he is. So
yeah, we put an Apple tag. What's it called? An air tag.
Yeah. Granted, I guess I could do that now since I have them using the Apple phone more frequently.
Yeah, I was like, this little wild hooligan, especially like being in a neighborhood, like because we just opened the door and let her out. Like we don't have a fence, so she won't go far, but she could go far if she wanted to. So
yeah, see, I could not do that. I don't know. I don't think I can do that in static. I don't know at this point. I don't know how. I know he knows to come here. Like I know he knows how to get here. Mm-hmm. I have not gone off the leash with him out of anywhere, where he couldn't
outside
be right by me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's a risk. I would only do it like in a big ass field somewhere where it was like no cars, no chance of him to where he could get hit. You gotta take him to like a big ass park and see if he like comes back to you when you call him.
Yeah, because that one time he got out and the nigga thought it was a game, I wanted to fight that nigga.
Yeah.
Like I had to go through the brush and them little prickly fucking things that get stuck in your clothes. Dog. I'm in that bitch with a beater and some hoop shorts. My body is like starting to itch because those things irritate your skin. Mm-hmm. Trying to pull them out my clothes.
It's horrible.
I wanted to fight that nigga.
Throw the whole outfit away.
Thought it was a whole game. I think I did. I think I threw away at least my beater and my boxers that I had on because they were just no matter how many times I washed them, it was just like irritating. Yeah, it was irritating.
They are so brutal too. Like they do not come. You have to like pick them out one by one.
Yeah. What I found out the best way is to brush them out with like a hairbrush, like a hard bristle hairbrush.
Hopefully, I never need to use that. Hopefully, but,
never again. Never again. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Ghosting. I think,
yeah. Ghosting relationships, like romantic relationships, or just relationships in general.
I mean, I guess just relationships in general. I mean, I guess, yeah, I would say relationship in general because I guess you can ghost friendships too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's weird though because ghosting friendships are weird. You don't really know you ghosted unless you constantly try to contact them and they just never
respond.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had a friend that I had for a very long time, and it's weird because I think we ghosted each other like at the same time. Like I remember us like talking, like just like some surface level shit. Like she had got like a new job, like a new traveling job, and I'm like, oh, that's so dope for you. Like, you know, you love to travel, blah blah blah. And then I may have like contacted her 2 weeks after that, and she never responded. This was literally in 2018. Like, neither one of us have tried to contact each other, like, at all during that time. And then I have another friend that I just kind of ghosted, which was kind of fucked up. Like, I actually feel very guilty and bad about how this went down, but I ghosted her, and I don't regret it now, but I just regret how I did it. Like, I should have been a better friend, and I should have, you know, communicated with her, but I didn't. But I should have. But she did try to contact me like numerous times, and I just was not trying to contact her. Like, I just wasn't trying to talk to her at all. Like, I was just kind of like, I'm over it. We haven't talked like this in a long time, and I don't even really care to have a friendship with you no more. Like, I don't really care. So, but that shit can really fuck some people up. Like, some people are very affected by, like, they're very affected by that. Because some people feel like they need closure, and it's like, oh, I need to talk, and I need to, you know, talk this out and see what happened. I've never felt that way, but I know a lot of people do feel that way. Like, I get closure on my own. Like, you know, I'm like, this is what it is now, and, you know, gotta move on with your life. But I know a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people, like, oh, I just need to talk to this person, like, one last time. Like, I had exes like that. Like, oh, let's just talk and get closure. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, we're about to have sex. Like, why are we here? Why are we doing this?
Wait,
like, this doesn't even make sense.
Who wanted closure before sex?
No, I'm just saying, like, your ex, you know, I've had exes where they're like, you know, I just need closure. Like, let's link up, let's meet up, and, you know, talk about, like, you know, why our relationship. Because I was, like, in one relationship, and we just were, like, ghosting each other. And then we would, like, come back, like, 6 months later or a year later, and it was just like, hey, let's link up, basically, like, on some closure shit. And it's like, we're not getting closure. We're getting fucked.
See,
like, this is
I don't
stupid.
know. I like this. So I suck. I'm not gonna say I suck at being a friend because I'm a great friend, but I suck at reaching out a lot of times. Like, and it's not anything against them as a person. I don't be like, I don't know.
As ghosting,
huh?
So people take that as ghosting. Like,
I don't know if they take it as ghosting. I hope not. I mean, I feel like I have one friend, like, that's my nigga. I'm like, we've been cool for years, and I feel like she understands it. Like, we literally may not talk for like 3-4 months, and then you catch up. Hey, what's up? What's good? What's been going on? Blah blah blah. Might talk for maybe 2 or 3 days, and then probably won't text each other again for like 3-4 months.
I have a friend like that. We might even only talk like twice a year sometimes, really. But
yeah, and we just have, and it's cool. It's not, you know, she don't feel a way about it. I don't feel a way about it. You know, and I feel like that's the thing. I don't really care as long as when I reach out, you respond. I don't take us not talking as any type of ghosting. It's when you respond and I don't respond, or if I respond and you don't respond. That's when I will say I consider it.
Like, you don't fuck with me.
Consider it ghosting. Yeah. Like, and then, you know, I give it a little time, because, you know, people don't be responding back right away either.
Yeah, that's me. I definitely don't. Like, somebody I haven't talked to. Somebody I haven't talked to in a while.
I know I give you 3 days at least anyways.
Man. Because now, like, I guess, I don't know. It might have something to do with having, like, more space, but, like, my phone will be upstairs for, like, 3 hours and I'll be downstairs. and I just won't even have my phone, or I'll have like my other phone that nobody has the number to. So like I'll have like my phone on me, and I'll be doing like social media and stuff, and people will be texting me like, well, oh, you here but you not texting me back. I'm like, I'm not even on that phone. Like but if it's somebody I haven't talked to, I'm like, yeah, I'll text you back tomorrow. Like, let me figure out what I want to say.
You one of those to read the text and say, I'm gonna text you back.
Yeah, I never like text back.
You don't remember it. I'm gonna say you can't remember.
Facts as fuck. I be forgetting. I'm like, damn, it's been a week. My bad. But yeah, so, and then that'd be a lot of sometimes that's the reason why I don't post on social media. And I'm like, it's like 10 people waiting for me to respond. If I post something on Instagram, they're going to be like, oh, yeah. I'm like, listen, let me live my life how I see fit. Okay. Delayed.
I try to post back. I mean, like within the same day. I try.
I don't.
I'm trying to see if I have any unread text messages.
And I don't even leave mine. Like I open all of them, and I still don't respond to them.
Yeah, well, I was seeing if I see any that I didn't respond to. I don't know. I feel like the ones I just haven't responded to just don't need a reply.
Right, like for what at this point, you know? For what?
Or after somebody says like answer the question, okay, I don't need to tell you bye. Exactly, okay.
Facts.
But ghosting in a relationship, then I guess because have I done that? No. Maybe like a cuddy buddy situation thing.
I feel like for you to like ghost somebody in a relationship, you have to have like done something really bad, because like why wouldn't you talk it out?
You know what? There was a girl I've ghosted people. I've ghosted people dating. I'll say that.
Yeah, not like in a relationship.
Nah, not a relationship, but like dating. It was one it's gonna sound so bad on my side, but she was too ghetto for me, honestly.
That don't sound bad at all.
Like I remember I took her to my mom's house. Because I think my mom was gone or something. The point was I had the house to myself, and where I'm not going to even disclose where I went to go pick her up from, but I took her back and she was like, "Oh my God, this is so nice," and it sounded ghetto. Just, you got an upstairs? What? It's upstairs. Like I'm just like, okay.
Damn.
Like it was like she's like, oh, you can go to your garage from your house, like. And
yo, low key, I just got that for the first time, and that shit is a great perk. I didn't grow up with a garage, so I might have low key would have been like, wow, you don't even gotta go outside before you get to your car. It's amazing. Shit.
But it was that, and then she was. I feel like she just latched on so hard, and I was like, this is not going to work, because it was just. And all by little things, and I feel like it's kind of bougie in me, but it was just that I was like, this just ain't going.
It is kind of bougie because like I like when guys introduce me to like new stuff, like when guys, and it could be like anything, like a food I never ate, or like a vacation, a place I never been before, or just like, just like different random shit. So
if she would have played it cool, it probably would have worked. But she got like super clingy, and it was like it became. So
it was how she started acting. Like she started acting like girl, you ain't never seen like no nice shit before in your life.
It was like before it was like, maybe I could get it. After it was like, it would be easy as hell type shit. It was like
So
her
there
whole
was no more chase. Like,
her whole everything just changed. It was just like she was open and ready. And I felt like it was just based off of because of what I had available to me, which was weird. It just
yeah, she got too thirsty. That's what that was.
yeah, So but I partially feel bad because I'm like, she's certain things she's probably hasn't experienced, but it was just how she went about it. It was just, I don't know, it was weird, and it was more so because she got super clingy. Like, I hate when people call me back to back. Like, we have cell phones. If you called, I'm gonna see that I have a missed call. And
Right.
like, unless it went straight to voicemail, then you gotta wonder, hey, is a phone off or is somebody calling while you calling? Okay, I get. Call back, call second time, and just see if it's still going straight to voicemail. But if you call and it's ringing, and then it goes to voicemail, I can see that you called.
Right.
Don't.
And you
don't
still call me
back.
multiple times.
Yeah, don't call me back. Let alone call me back 3 times.
Yeah,
So
that's very stalkerish.
yeah, and she was one of those call back to back like 3-4 times. I'm like, nah. It was complete turn off. Ghosted her.
Did she try to like contact you like after you ghosted her? Like, did she keep making attempts to get back in communication?
Probably for like 2 weeks ish. Like 2 weeks. Because I think she had me on AIM. Yeah, it was like AIM and my cell phone. And shit.
AIM. Tell me more about how old you are.
Hey, I used to spit that G on that AIM.
Man.
Used to get them numbers on them AIMs.
You used to have the sidekick. You used to be doing AIM on your sidekick.
Nah, I haven't. I was hacking AIM onto other things because I didn't have T-Mobile to have a sidekick.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, they did. It was just T-Mobile with the sidekick. Huh?
It was.
Yeah.
But I had AIM on other things. I remember I had. I was rocking pocket PCs for a minute. I was that guy.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like them half PDA phone things. Let's see if I can.
Nah. Was this before or after Nextel chirp phones? Like, this was after.
I mean, it was about around the same time. Matter of fact, Monique had a Nextel chirp. She had the little NASCAR one. Mm-hmm. It was like a NASCAR orange one or some shit. And
Where you at? That's all I remember from them commercials. That's funny.
I actually had this. I had this one right here. This HTC Mogul. That's what I hacked. That's what I hacked. Because it was a Windows PC phone, so you could hack shit onto there like you could a computer.
Damn.
It slid up and everything.
Yeah, I don't think I had one of them joints. I had a Nextel, I had a Sidekick, I had various flip phones, but yeah, no, I didn't have one of them joints. I have a ghost story for this one guy. I forgot all about him, which is weird because I dealt with him for a very long time to be so young. Like, I dealt with this guy from like the time I was like 14, 15 until I was like in college, like on and off in college. This is the same guy I was talking about earlier, like the older one that was like way too old.
Oh, didn't you have it? I feel like you had another story. It was him when he came by and you had your friend snuck out the other dude or some shit. Same dude.
Yeah. Damn. fact that you remember that shit. So, this guy, I mean, me and him, we had been dealing with each other for like a while. But like I said, it was like on and off. Like, I had like other high school boyfriends that I dated, blah, blah, blah. But like, me and him somehow always like got back together. So, this was like my first year of college. This was actually at Peninsular Place. And he had came over. And long story short, he told me, he was like, you know, we were just kind of on and off. We were never official, but like, you know, we just kind of had like that unspoken relationship. Mm-hmm. So he came over and he told me that he got this girl pregnant. And I mean, it was just like a whole scene out of a movie. He crying, I'm crying. He's like begging for forgiveness. And I'm just like, you know, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I already started fucking with, like, my college boyfriend. So this is kind of like, you know, like my way out. So I wasn't happy that happened. Like, I was sad. But then I was like, oh, this is my way out. Like, I'm really about to, like, stop fucking with him and start fucking with my college boyfriend. So I ended up ghosting him. He probably called me for, like, 2 or 3 months. Like, he randomly showed up. Like, I would see him like drive past my apartment at Peninsular. Like, he would like be riding around on campus. Like, he was losing it. Like, he really like got real into like acting crazy and shit because I mean, we didn't have social media back then. Like, it wasn't like Facebook and Instagram and shit. So, I mean, it was easy to like ghost him because I all I had to do was like block him from my phone. So he would like, I did have an email address, so he would like email me, and I'm just like, this nigga is losing it. But he definitely did like some stalker shit. But I'm like, it's nothing to talk about. Like, you got this chick pregnant, and I was already on my way out the door anyway. So I'm like, we don't need to have a conversation. But I really just didn't want to tell him like, nigga, I was about to stop fucking with you anyway. But so he just kind of gave me like that out. But man, ghosting him was kind of scary because he just started doing some weird shit. And I'm just like, he would leave like notes on my door and shit like that. And I'm just like, man, that was pretty wild. But I still continue to ghost people after that. Some people really deserve it though. Like, for real. Like, to me, that was deserving. Like, nigga, you got a whole baby on the way. Like, what do you want with me now? Like, I'm not about to stick it out with you. Like, no, I was like 19, 20 or some shit. Like, no, it's a wrap. Bye. But,
yeah, I do feel like ghosting is only acceptable if they just do. For me, you just do something out of pocket. You do something against the norm or against the rules, or against the rules of our situation.
Definitely.
Like, I would say, like, I had a Cuddy buddy that I ghosted. It was because she went against the grain, and it was just like, just like, nah, because I kind of knew she was kind of, you know, out here, and she didn't feel away. She didn't feel bad about it. She did not feel ashamed or anything like that. So she was very open, which I respected. But you know, you tell me so much of your history and just how shit plays out. Like, I remember one time, I went to go pick her up on my way from school, and then she pretty much like, and it's like I knew, but she pretty much was just like, she said something like, yeah, I hooked up with this one dude, and she was like, I just regretted it. She was like, I just got tired of waiting for you to come, so I just hooked up. She was like, I regret it because it was just horrible, and I should have waited for you. And I guess she thought that was going to be like an ego thing, and I was like, I don't want to know that shit. And it was just, and then I feel like,
feelings for her though. Like, did you like care about her or not like that?
Nah, it was what it was, and then.
But you still were just kind of like, ugh.
it was really it was that, and then cherry on top. Like afterwards, after we got it popping that night, she no, it wasn't even after. It was during the act. She was like, "What I got to do to make you my boyfriend?" And I just looked at her like, "Girl."
Oh shit! I just sit on my laptop.
like, nah. You just told me, nah. I'm just like, nah.
So
And that was
spit on my fucking screen.
That was the last time I promptly ghosted her, and yeah, it was like it's just nah. Like I can't believe you just asked me that.
Yo, why these chicks be coming at you so aggressively? Like, what the fuck is going on, Dev? Like, why they be coming at you like that? What you say the other chick said to you earlier? I don't think you said this on camera.
She said, she looked me up and down. She said, "Hey, you got a bitch?" And it was just, I just didn't know how to respond to that. Like, it was just. It was a lot.
Like, I for sure don't want it to be you. Like, I'm 100% sure about that.
It was. I feel like that was the most masculine energy I've ever gotten from a woman. That she looked me up and down like I was the woman in the situation and said, "Hey, you got a bitch." Like I didn't even talk like about women like that. Like I didn't even refer to women like, "Oh yeah." Yeah, you know, I'm with my bitch. I don't talk like that. So for her to say to me, "Hey, you got a bitch,"
like I was been doing your whole life. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, like who do you normally talk to? Do niggas like when you come up to them and say this shit? Like my niggas just bust out laughing because it just sounded so weird. It was right before we was throwing a party in Peninsula. And she was about to come to a party, and she just like, "You got a bitch." It's like, no.
Savage.
I was like, didn't want it.
Savage as fuck.
But
right,
the ghosting is A-okay if they do something out of pocket, but I don't know, relationship wise, I can't see you just ghost somebody. And just because you feel away, I feel like they have to do something to make ghosting okay.
Facts.
'Cause
Yeah, like I feel like you gotta have like some strong. If you don't have evidence, you gotta have like you've just been like ignoring red flags and shit, like. And you just, at this point, you tired of ignoring the red flags. Like, I had an ex who, this nigga used to go out of town and I wouldn't hear from him. Like, he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm going to see my grandma." And I'd be like, "Oh, okay." And then, like, I wouldn't even talk to him the whole time he was there. And I'm just like, and he'd be like, "But I'm sharing my location with you." I'm like, "Yeah, but we can't even talk on the phone while you're here. Like, this is just, like, your grandma time. Like, grandma don't be taking a shit or something or cooking, and you can like talk, like even if you don't want to like talk in front of her for whatever weird fucking reason, like you have no like extra moment where you can like step away and have a conversation." So he used to do weird shit like that, and so I never like really actually caught him up. Like I don't know why he would be weird like that, but it was just enough for me to be like, "Nigga, I'm not fucking with you no more." Like something is weird. Like you travel and it's like I don't hear from you when you travel, or it's like you travel and like when I do talk to you, you're only like outside or something, or you're like in a public place like at a gas station or some shit like that. And I'm like, nigga, like I don't know exactly what it is, but it's something, and it's enough for me to be like, nah. So I like ghosted him. Like, I blocked him on everything. Like, I had moved. He didn't know where I lived. Yeah. So, to me, that was justifiable because I'm like, there's no rationing with a person like that. Like, you know exactly what the fuck you're doing. Like, you're not going to just come.
Have you been ghosted before? Have you been ghosted before?
I think so. I think I've been ghosted by this one dude. Like, nothing that sticks out. Like, oh my gosh, like he ghosted me. But like, you know what? I don't think I've been ghosted actually. Like my boyfriend had broke up. One of my college boyfriends had broke up with me, and I didn't necessarily want to be broke up with him, but we broke up. But me, I've never like if somebody's like I don't want you, I've never been the person to put in like the effort. Like oh let me change your mind. Like
oh no, I'm not.
Absolutely not.
I'm not gonna say that, but
yeah,
I've
dudes
been
be like that though.
I've been ghosted. I would say twice, even though the second time she came back and then ended up being my girlfriend. But yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
the first one, I don't know if she ghosted. I would say she ghosted me. I mean, so I think she ghosted me, but I don't know if it was like her just going through some shit. Because when she came back around, she was just down bad, down bad, and like when I said like had done crack down bad. So that's like I was just like, whoa, and it was this girl. Ooh, where did I meet? It wasn't. No, it was MySpace. Met her on MySpace, and I remember. I thought it was just like I don't know. She kind of. I'm not gonna say not use turn me out as the proper language, but it was. I felt kept. I went to. She always would go to the casino in Windsor, and it was one time she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm at the casino." She's not from it. She's like from Ohio or some shit. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Yeah, just come see me." So I used to go to Windsor all the time. You know, that's nothing. So instead of driving home, I just drove straight from school straight over there. And she was like, "Yeah, just give them my name at valet. They'll park your car." Like they parked the car. They carried all my stuff up. She had like a suite. Like I was. This is like freshman college me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I felt kept. I didn't realize her like she gamed me up. I didn't realize her whole plan was like, oh yeah, I'm about to get some dick type shit, and she basically treated me like the hoe. I got flued out,
which is crazy because like men don't even require all of that. Like y'all are way easier. There's no work really that needs to
none of that needed.
But that's cute. She did all of that though. But
she did none of that needed to happen,
yeah.
And then
exactly.
Kids like had dinner, liquor, like literally I was pretty much in that situation. I was the woman. That shit was
Was she
wild.
attractive?
Yeah, I mean she was a white girl for one.
Oh.
But yeah, she was. I would say probably what white dudes would consider chubby, what we would consider thick. Mm-hmm. Like, she was an attractive white girl. Like, short, but like short, stocky, thick. Like it's weird. Like the girls who play softball, kind of body shape, or like, yeah, I would say softball. Like, and. Yeah, and even after the whole encounter, I stayed the night. But she gave me money to go gamble. Like she was like, "Hey, here's $50. Go see if you can win us something." It's like, okay.
You know what? That's why I think some people really be like, and not saying her. That's why I really think some people be like, this whole like them feeling like they're a different sex, like people being trans. I really feel like that shit, sometimes it makes sense because I've met like a lot of women who have very much so like masculine tendencies like that. And then I've met women that are like the opposite. And I'm like, maybe the universe did get it wrong. Maybe you did come here in the wrong body and you were supposed to come here as something else, because there's no way I would do all of that for a man that I wanted to have sex with, because
yeah, she
it's not necessary.
She did all the gaming up, like
not necessary at all.
And it was none of that was necessary. She could have got a Motel 6. It would have been there. But yeah, and then
not saying you don't deserve, friend. You deserve. However, I'm just saying she ain't have to do all of that.
She didn't though. Like breakfast in the morning, everything like that. And I feel like we hooked up one more time, and then she just disappeared. Like disappeared for. Were
you trying to contact her though, or not necessarily?
No, I did. I didn't like her. Like I liked her, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to be in a relationship with her because she lived in like Ohio. But I liked her. And I did, I did some soft reach outs. Like, I think I tried to contact her maybe twice or 3 times. I think I sent her a text message after, because I hadn't heard from her. We used to talk a lot. I mean, like at least multiple times in a week. And I hadn't heard from her for like a month. And I think I sent her a message or called her or something. She didn't answer. And then I hit her up on MySpace. And I didn't hear from her.
Get back. You was trying to get that back.
Oh, I mean, I hit her up. Yeah, I hit her up twice. That's I'll say that. I was really just trying to like, are you okay?
Yeah, are you alive?
And then I heard back from like 8 months later, and she like called me out of nowhere, and I'm just like,
8 months later.
Yeah, it was 8 months later, like, and I hate when people pop up and they just talk like I just know who it is. Like I ain't talking to you in 8 months. And you say, hey, it's Jessica.
Know your voice no more.
And I'm like, Jessica who? And she was like, Jessica, Ohio? I was like, I had to think for a second. I'm like, oh, what's popping? I found out she was she used to work at she was like a hotel receptionist or whatever. I don't know what happened. She said she started dabbling something and she started doing crack. And I was just like, she was telling me, just give me the whole rundown. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, I'm glad you ghosted me because I don't know what the fuck you got. I know she did crack and she's like missing some teeth. It was. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
That was a good ghost. Yeah.
It was.
Sure.
But that's the only time I can for real think that I've been, at least, ghosted in like a relationship-esque thing.
Yeah, I can't think of any time I've been ghosted and it like, oh my God, like he just disappeared. Like, where is he? Like, if somebody has ghosted me, it wasn't somebody.
You never had like a one night stand and then nigga never called back type shit?
I've never had a one night stand. I've never had a one night stand. And you wanna know what's so funny is like I went to DC with like my friend and her boyfriend and like we went to like visit like some of his friends and we were talking about that at dinner and I mean this was probably like 5 years ago, so I was like 30 or something like that. And they were like, you never had a one night stand before? And I'm like, no. I'm like, have y'all? And they were like, multiple times. And I'm like, for like literally like you meet somebody at like a club or something and y'all fuck that night. Like,
see, I'm not big on the bringing home club.
That's a one night stand though, right?
Yeah, that is
one night stand. Like
that is.
What other scenario would you give for a one night stand?
So my one night stand was that. Well, I guess technically it wasn't one night stand, it was 2 night stand because it happened twice. But it was that. Like it was, it's never been hey, we just met just today and we are fucking today. Like there is some type of previous experience with them. Like even if it's just talking
Let me Google what a one night stand is.
on the phone.
Yeah. I always
So-
imagine it like a one night stand to me has always in my mind been you meet somebody like that day, y'all have sex that day.
Well, see, in my head,
Like
I
my
just feel
friends
like
used to do that in Miami. Like we used to go to Miami like in our
Nah.
early 20s, and they used to like be meeting niggas on the
Yeah.
beach and be like having sex with them on the trip. And I'm like, y'all are fucking wild, but it's a very common thing, and
I mean, yeah,
I
it
was never
is.
into it.
I look at it as the first time y'all physically meet and y'all end up fucking and that's it. That's the one night stand. But even if you are have been talking prior, if you have never met to me, like that's how I look at it. Like if y'all just meeting for the first time and y'all fucking for the first time that same day, and then you don't talk again, it's a one night stand. Or even maybe if you don't even see each other again, it's a one night stand.
Yeah, no, I've never had one of those before.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you know.
I can understand if it's just well, I don't know. I never really got the whole, hey, I'm meeting a girl in the club. Cause first off, I don't want to fuck this random girl in the club. Anyways, cause are we taking showers or what? Cause you ain't about to do anything after musty ass dancing in the club all night. That shit can't smell right. That shit can't be, no.
Facts. And then on top of that, like, I'm not going to a random person house the first night I meet them. And I'm definitely not letting no random ass nigga just come to my house the first night I meet you. Like, we don't have no, like, mutual friends or we don't have no... Listen.
I guess
Absolutely
maybe
not.
back then, people, in college, nobody lived by themselves. So maybe you felt safer. Maybe.
I mean, I did. I lived by myself for most of college. Like I had like I lived at Peninsula my first year, and so we had a 2-bedroom, so it was just me and a roommate. And then after that, I lived in Lakeshore by myself. I lived in Ford Lake Landing by myself.
You was over there living fancy.
I started living by myself when I was 19. When I was 19, my mom was like, "I'm gonna help you get this apartment," so she helped
she
me
was
sign.
at Lakeview. You was fancy.
Yep, Lakeshore and Ford
Or
Lake.
Lakeshore. You talking about like off of Grove, right, or somewhere around there?
Lakeshore. Yeah.
That was fancy. I remember I wanted to stay there after moving from Peninsula. I thought I was living fancy in Peninsula until I'm like, nah, this was a little
Ford
funky
Lake
ass.
Landing. Ford Lake Landing was way better than Lakeshore.
Was it?
Hell yeah! It was like the single entry apartments. It was like on a lake. It was real pretty over there. Like that was by far my best college apartment. Like it was like grown people living over there. I'm like, oh, I'm a real adult. This is dope. Yeah, because Lakeshore was kind of like a dorm, kind of, because it was like a lot of college kids that lived in Lakeshore.
Was
And
it?
then when I moved to Ford Lake, yeah, Ford Lake was like, oh, like I'm actually an adult here. It's kind of dope. Because I was only like 20, so I was pretty young. But yeah, so one night stands was never on my radar. Not to say I don't have like a little past, like I do, but like just having sex with random men, nah, that's never been my thing, like ever.
I mean, I don't know. I never really got one night stand, even though I did feel like it was definitely easier for y'all to do that than us. Niggas would be hunting. Like it's easier for a woman to go to a club and like, hey, you trying to fuck, and how many niggas would probably say yeah, versus if a dude comes to the club like, hey, you trying to fuck? Like, I'm sure that you're going to get more male responses than female responses. So I never get it.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. Do you think fucking the first time you meet somebody is okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I've it wasn't the first night, but it would have been the first night if it presented itself. So like one of my boyfriends, the one that I ended up like breaking up with and like ghosting because he was like acting weird when he would like travel. When I first like met him, me and him, like, we just went in, like, I mean, everything just started happening, like, very fast. Like, the first night we went out with each other, it was, like, I mean, we were, like, walking around like we were in love, like, making out everywhere we went. Like, we extended the date. Like, we took the date from just one place to, like, 4. Like, we, like, stayed with each other for, like, 6-7 hours. And I just thought we were going to, like, go to dinner. And then just because of like the proximity of like where we were out at and where we lived, the opportunity to like stay the night with each other didn't present itself because by the end of the night we was like already too drunk. And I'm like, I have to go home, like, or I'm gonna die at this point because I'm like just super, super drunk. So then the next day we hooked up again. Like we had like went out. The next day we went out again. But this time I went out closer to his area because I already had it made up in my mind, like I'm definitely about to take it there, do some adult things with him. So yeah, the next day we did, but I would have on the first night, and then we ended up being together for 2 years. So, but it was a very what's the word? Tumultuous. Yeah. That describes our relationship. But I don't think it has anything to do with the idea that we had sex like on the second night. It was more
I mean, I personally feel niggas are grown. Niggas can do that. If that's what you want to do, hey.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with that. I don't have a problem with people like wanting to wait either though. Like, oh, I want to like get to know you and hang out and blah 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 and like take some time, like,
yeah, as long as it's a genuine get to know and not like no Steve Harvey 90 days type shit. Like,
yeah, that's why.
No, don't put no time frame on this shit because that's bullshit. Like, yeah. If it's because you genuinely want to get to know the person or make sure, hey, yeah, before I let you inside of me, let me know who you are. I get that, but yeah, right. I don't like.
Like, and if you just went through like a bad situation or something, yeah. Like every time you've like had sex with a guy too quick, you feel like something.
Yeah, have a real reason behind it.
Let me try something different this time.
Have a real reason behind it. Don't try to hit me with, oh, I'm saving myself for marriage, and you got 2 kids, and you can't give me no real reason why. Like, why? Okay, why? But you didn't why? Save it before. Like,
yeah, but why? What if that's a different goal? Like, all right, this time around, I'm trying to do something different with I don't think anything is wrong with that. Actually, like, if you find somebody who aligns with that,
I mean, sure. Then, I just just put the expectation out there. You ain't going to find too many that are going to be like, okay, that makes sense to me. I would just say, don't put a set date on it because you could be together, have a very strong relationship. What if that person is the type of person that likes marriage, but this could still be the perfect person for you? You just not gonna just not fuck them ever,
right? I mean, me personally, I'm not about to marry somebody and I don't know what the sex is like. To me, that sounds stupid.
I think it's crazy.
Like, what if it's just bad? Like, my grandma tells me this all the time, and she tells me, don't what's the chicken or the milk and the cow shit that old people saying?
It says don't why buy the milk? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Yeah, she be saying that to me all the time, and I'm just like, Grandma, I'm gonna sample that milk. Like, I'm not about to just jump into something. Like, at my big age of 35, she's still like, yeah, you don't need to be having sex until you got a ring on your finger and a contract in your hand. And I'm like, girl, I'm sitting on some dick. Like, I'm not about to be getting into a situation for life, and I don't know what that dick too.
So do you think, can you fix bad sex? Do you think you can fix bad sex?
I don't think you can. I mean, I know people are like, you can teach your partner, like, you could teach your partner, you know, like what you like and stuff like that, but who the fuck? I mean, I still think you should communicate with your partner, like the things you like and the things, you know, you don't like, or the things you want to blah, blah, blah. But just as far as like bad sex, or like a person just being like maybe awkward during sex, or maybe like insecure during sex, even though you've been in like a relationship. I know some people are like that, men and women. They're still like insecure about sex, even with their partners. So fuck no. If we can't just be all out super comfortable with each other, no, I don't think you can. I think there's a lot of aspects about bad sex you can't fix. Like, yeah. Like, what if it's bad because he's just small? What do you do at that point? What? You just swap out his dick for a strap-on? Like, here, babe, put the strap-on on. Like, it's like some things I just think you can't.
I mean, they do have dick, like dick extenders that you put.
Yeah.
It's like
I've
it's
never
like,
thought that stuff like that worked though.
It's like a dick that you put on top of your dick. It's like a fleshlight on the inside, I think, and then it's like just a dick, a longer dick on the outside.
Well, shit.
Seems like a lot of work.
Hopefully that works for whoever is buying it, but yeah, I think there's.
But
I think there's a lot of aspects that you can't.
You better just learn how to eat pussy good or something.
But sometimes that don't even be enough. Like sometimes it just needs to be.
See, for me,
I mean,
I feel like I just need to.
That wouldn't
I just
work for
need
me.
a nut. I just need a nut. So I don't. Hey, how you get it to happen? It's okay with me. I just need, that I prefer, which I found out, I guess I am more of a unicorn on this. I prefer head more than actual sex a lot of times. But apparently,
no,
I'm a minority.
Yeah. Like if I start with head, and I'm like, this is all I'm trying to do is just head, that'll never work out. It'd be like, all right, enough of this.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly okay with that. Hey, that's what that even means we're going to be quicker tonight. Let's go. Like I'm with it. We can. No. If you with it, we can take turns, or I'm not going to complain if it's just me. I'm good. Yeah. So.
No, nah. But, everybody's different. Everybody has their preferences. But, yeah. So, nah. I think bad sex is just bad sex. And then don't you start to, like, stop having feelings for this person. And then the sex is just like, ugh. Like, it becomes a chore at that point. Like, let me just have sex with him so he could just... whatever. So he don't have an attitude all day, I guess.
Would never want that. That sounds dreadful.
I've been there before where I'm like, I'm about to break up with this nigga because I just don't even enjoy having sex with him anymore. Like it's not like if you like lose attraction to your partner or. For me, like, I already wasn't super attracted to my partner at the time, but I was like, damn, he's just such a good-ass person. Like, it was hard to, I loved everything else about him except for the attraction and the sex. And the bad sex came from, like, the lack of attraction. So...
Because I'm about to say, how was it ever good? Like, how did it get bad?
Yeah, it just, mentally, it got bad. It wasn't, like, physically, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, but it was just, like, I had like started a new job and I was like around very attractive people and it definitely, and I was kind of already, kind of like not feeling him. So that was kind of the icing. Yeah, no, it is, but that's the truth. It was kind of the icing on the cake. Like, dang, it's like all these fine ass dudes and they just be hitting on me all day and I'm already not happy. And he's like, it was just a lot of, factors. And so, this was the guy that I was like, before I cheat on him, I have to break up with him. Like, I'm not going to cheat on him because if I stay with him, I'm going to be miserable. But I wasn't willing to cheat because I was like, I just didn't think that was a fair thing to do to such a good person. I didn't want to be cheating. Really, be fucking people up. Like
It does.
getting cheated on. Like that should be traumatizing to people, and it had been traumatizing to me in the past. Like especially like the way like one of my college boyfriends cheated. That shit was traumatizing as fuck. Like my best friend at the time was involved in it. He was like fucking like one of her other friends, and she knew about it, and it was just like very traumatizing. And I'm like,
she ain't say nothing.
No, she was like the one who hooked him up. Like she like went behind my back and like hooked my boyfriend up with like her other friend, and they were like going out of town together, and like it was traumatizing.
We might would have fought.
Yeah,
we might would have fought on that aspect.
We had some classes together, and when I found out what she was doing, like I was like, it would be very wise for you to drop these classes, because when I see you, it's on fucking sight. And I literally never seen her again. Like she dropped out of school. I never seen her again. So I just the trauma, it was like added trauma because my best friend was like in on it, but just like knowing that he was like cheating on me, like ongoing, and it was just like, you know, the people around me that like were my friends had knew about it. I was like, I would never put anybody through some shit like that again, or I would never put anybody through that, like, and I never would want to experience that again. So I just always felt like I can't be a cheater, because that shit, that type of trauma I would never want to like inflict upon somebody else. So
yeah, you feel like you should feel like a shitty person if you are a serial cheater.
Yeah, you just doing like you trying to have like a whole extra relationship within your relationship. Goofy. Like, first of all, that shit just it gets draining. Like, how do you even have the energy to keep lying? And like, you know, you have to be like a very sick person to do some shit like that.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, some of them get off on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Some of them just or gets off on the attention from the other person.
Yeah. So.
Did we still want to talk about who was that person we were talking about? What did we say we were going to talk about? I completely forgot.
Like in the media?
Yeah.
I think we should. If we save it for the next episode, it's probably not going to be relevant.
It's not going to be relevant. Might as well just get it on now. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find receipts about this Rihanna thing with Megan.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that. That I didn't hear about.
So I've heard that there were rumors that Megan Thee Stallion has been messing with ASAP. I want to believe that it's not true, because why would you mess with? Why would you mess with?
Like, super in love with her boyfriend and shit too.
Who, Megan?
Yeah.
I guess so. I would assume so.
Oh, I feel like they be posting videos and stuff together, like they happy, but you know.
More so, I would be talking shit about Rocky. Like, how you niggas kill me when they cheat on their wife when they pregnant. Like, that's just, I feel like that's the ultimate cheat. Just like nigga, she's carrying your child. Like, her body is literally changing. But nigga, like, her body's literally going through the biggest change probably is ever going to have, probably since puberty. Mm-hmm. And she's probably feeling the most insecure, emotions and hormones haywire. And you said, "Hey, I'm a fucking other bitch." like this is your response to that.
Wild. That shit is wild. But some people are just cheaters. Like, that's just who they are.
Yeah, I don't know. I just googled Megan Thee Stallion and A$AP Rocky, and there's all these rumors. Rihanna unfollowed, Rihanna, Sierra, Drake unfollowed, everybody unfollowing Megan.
For real?
Hey, you can Google Megan Thee Stallion, A$AP Rocky.
I'm about to go to Instagram and see. Go straight to the source. Dang, Meg just been going through it in the media. Poor girl.
I mean, I do feel bad for her, but if this shit come out that what's his name, the baby, not the baby, what's the nigga name, Tory Lanez, ain't for real even got DNA on that damn gun, and she been running this campaign, that's gonna make her look real bad. Like, I'm
still team Meg. Fuck Tory.
I mean, I don't like Tory just as an individual. It's just
because.
And I'm mad that she was probably fucking both of them. Even though I don't know how she could want to fuck some, because I feel like Megan has to be taller than him, like,
yeah,
like by inches,
like a foot probably.
And I just don't know what about Tory it is with. Well, I can't say he has the receding hairline because he got the surgery, but still, just I don't see the plus side of fucking with Mr. Toronto.
He's very corny to me. Like, he definitely gives.
Got bars. I'm not gonna say he got bars. He got some catchy songs, but just as an individual, I'm good.
Yeah, he definitely gives me what's that complex when you short though? Napoleon.
What? Oh, Napoleon complex. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, that's why I was like, that seems on point for him to want to shoot a bitch, because he definitely gives me that vibe.
Who shoots her in the foot though? That's, I don't know.
You said who? What?
Who shoots in the foot? Like, who in the heel? Who? Sound like she want to go back out. Yeah. But I don't know who shoots in the foot. But I'm hoping that his DNA is on there. Well, no, I don't. Because if his DNA is on there, he's going to jail. If his DNA is not on there, then
that's what I'm rooting for.
She's not telling the truth.
Yeah.
So.
We shall see, but I really
know.
hope that this. I hope that this ASAP thing isn't for real.
Yeah, because Rihanna looks so happy being pregnant. That would be fucked up if that's what she has to go through.
Right, and then you know what I noticed? She's not on Instagram right now.
Oh, really? Let her live her pregnancy in private. Even though
she ain't been private this whole time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She did go out kind of lavishly. Who else?
Now I gotta read the blogs and shit. See what's going on.
The shit with Kanye and Pete Davidson and and Kim.
You already know I'm Kim. I'm Kim. I'm Kim. That's Team Kim. Yeah, you already know where my loyalty lies.
Yeah, I mean my loyalty didn't lie either way. I didn't in the beginning. I thought Kanye was trolling. Now I think that this nigga's crazy. And like,
what about what he said about DL Hughley though? Like, so get a fucking grip.
And what DL Hughley is saying is true though. Like, if this was anybody else, people would have an issue. But because it's Kanye, they just letting him do this, say this crazy shit. Right. I don't know. I feel like
it took for him. Then it took for him to call Trevor a coon, for them to be like, "Oh, that's it." Y'all haven't been watching him for the last 2 weeks of him like harassing his wife and his wife. His ex-wife.
But he called Trevor Noah a coon.
Yeah, he posted a picture of him. He was like, "Kumbaya," because Trevor Noah apparently had said something against him, and he called this nigga Kumbaya. And then that's when Instagram suspended his account for a day. And I'm like, y'all haven't been seeing him harass his ex-wife and her boyfriend for the last 2 weeks, and this was it. That was the icing on the cake. Like, yeah, it's just because it's Kanye.
I don't know what he said. He said he ain't trying to get his wife back, but I don't know if it's a manic episode or not. It could be, but it's been a long ass manic episode. I don't know what team he has around him. If they, haven't been telling them to, hey, go take your meds or go see somebody. But
I think Kanye has a bunch of yes men around him.
I mean, I could get it. I could see it, but then I don't see how he would keep being successful with just a whole bunch of yes men unless everybody just okay with it. Like, I feel like this is going to be his downfall, but he got some hardcore ass fans that are completely with all this right now.
That shit is wild to me that anybody is condoning this behavior. Wild. But I be seeing the people in the comments like, he's a good dad. I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? Like, based off some pictures you've seen of him with his kids, he at the game with one of his kids. Like, how do we know he's a good dad? We don't even know if she's a good mom. Shit, we really don't know. But the people sticking up for Kanye and this foolishness, I'm like, y'all are retarded.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise that's happening in my background right now. the dragon is scurrying around, Chi-Chi's scurrying around. I'm like, these animals.
Is there any other current events that we're gonna discuss before we get out of here? I feel like we what? Oh, you know what? This would be. Well, I guess we had a week in between. I was gonna say we've had a consistent 2 weeks. But there's a week in between.
Yeah, not quite. I think we covered a good bit today. This episode is gonna be like 2 hours long.
Well, we made up for it. We made up for time. There we go. Made up for the other episodes that are missing.
2 episodes in one, basically.
So we want to thank you for still kicking it with us. We've gotten a few comments. We do appreciate the support. We have not quit. We're not going to quit anytime soon. Actually, we're about to make it a financial obligation to this that will at least tie us in for a year. So,
yay to us.
Yeah. So, keep kicking it with us. Thank you. We're gonna let Chi-Chi go outside.
She has been so embarrassing. I'm gonna have to pull out the crate for her next time because we're not doing this. But so thank you guys for tuning in to episode 9 and 10, damn near. No, episode 9, and we will see y'all next week. Deuces.
Keep wishing us the best. Our podcast is better than the rest. You got an issue, better say it with your chest. Until then, keep wishing us the best. Keep wishing us the best. Our podcast is better than the rest. You got a problem, better say it with your chest.